Welcome to LOQation, Cabrini College's weekly news program. I'm Alexa Faragine.
And I'm Dominique DiNardo, and here's your news now.
The Spring Formal at the Mansion is a popular event that students enjoy attending. This year, student government entrusted CAP Board to plan the Alice in Wonderland themed dance. Why did this change occur, and how did the board plan for the formal?
Student government has been in charge of Spring Formal for the past few years, as far as I'm aware, and we're trying to get less of an image of a planning board. That's more CAP Board's thing. So rather than planning events, we're trying to make changes in the school with what the students want to see.
The decision to hand over the Spring Formal to CAP Board was actually being talked about last year while we were planning the Spring Formal. After a full year, we would turn it over to them, but if they had any questions or anything like that, they could approach us with it and we'd be able to work with them. We just felt that CAP Board would be able to do a much better job at planning it, and we didn't want to devote all of our time to that when there's issues on campus that students want to get resolved. So we felt by handing it over to them, we could once again better serve the students.
Our exec board on CAP Board has been planning it, and the directors help with the planning as well. And we discuss everything that needs to be taken care of. So we come up with a shopping list of what needs to be purchased. We come up with a theme. We sit down and talk about what needs to be done as far as arts and crafts, like decorations. With the theme is a little tricky because we want to think outside the box, but we also want to be creative with it. The most stressful thing is getting everyone excited like we're excited, because we love Disney, we love Alice in Wonderland, and we just want to show everyone else that even though this is Alice in Wonderland, it's going to be awesome.
A Penn State fraternity has been suspended by the university. According to Patch.com, authorities are now investigating 2 Facebook pages that allegedly show photos of nude women passed out or sleeping. The authorities were notified by a former member of the fraternity, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Radnor residents get into the Easter spirit this year. On Sunday, March 22nd, Radnor Township Recreation and Community Programming Department will be holding the 5th annual Egg Travaganza. The event will begin at 2 p.m. at the Villanova University Stadium. Along with hunting for eggs, Cabrini is offering Breakfast with the Bunny on March 28th. Tickets are $2 and free for children under 2 years old. Last Wednesday, chefs from area colleges competed in the Chef Fair in Cavs Corner. Let's take a look.
We start a couple days ahead with mise en place, means everything in our place, and we start putting things together in sequence so we can execute them as they get closer to the event. So the chefs can come in, we have 4 visiting chefs can come in and kind of walk into their food versus just running around trying to prepare it. Like most chefs, I'm a political science major, so if I wasn't going to save the world, I figured I'd go cook for it. So I figured I thought about something I might be good at, and so I gave it a shot and it kind of stuck. Well, I am representing the United States of America, USA. It's Olympic theme, so I'm USA Soccer. Was women's, but since the men did well, it's men and women's now. I'm doing authentic, somewhat a little twist on Thanksgiving, doing a fried turkey steak, a macaroni and stuffing cupcake with a raspberry mousse, cheese sauce, and demi-glace. I think it's one of their favorite events of the year, and it's mine too. I mean, it's really fun. There's no pressure. We're doing a little food, little twist on things, and it's all good.
Well, when I was a young child growing up, my grandfather cooked a lot for his company and had cookouts, and we always made split pea soup. And as I got older, I went to culinary school. Today, I look forward to the camaraderie and getting together with my local chefs and other chefs from the schools. And it's like a little friendly, fun competition, basically for bragging rights. It's pretty cool. Events like this are like the best part of being a chef. You know, you have the day-to-day, feed the students, take care of the ordering and the food, but events like this is like a break from reality. It's kind of like a fun day off.
I always look forward to this because I get to see like different courses that they come up with. It's kind of cool to see the different colleges that come here, not just Cabrini, but like Valley Forge and Harcum, just to see like what kind of food they have at their schools. They make it sound like a big event with all like music and a lot of things going on. There's a lot of props. So I think that a lot of students look forward to this event.
Chef's Fair is really cool for the students because they get to see other universities come in and they get to see that it's not just a dining hall, it's culinary expertise, and all the chefs get together and really show off awesome cuisine.
Last week, LOQation reported that a man was arrested and accused of filming women in local store dressing rooms. Sean Moses is now facing 450 counts on various charges that are connected with his alleged recordings. His bail is set for $500,000, according to MainlineMediaNews.com. And that was your trip around the block. Let's check in with Howard Blake to see what's new in sports.
The women's lacrosse team defeated Ursinus College by a score of 8-7. The Lady Cavs had to erase a 5-0 deficit. Senior Sarah Means and Melissa Scanzano led the way for the blue and white with 2 goals each, and senior Lacey Dubé added the last goal to give the Cavs the 8-7 advantage. The men's lacrosse team took on number 2 Rochester Institute of Technology at the Syracuse Carrier Dome. The blue and white lost 11-12, and seniors Damian Sebeski and Tyler Jostin led the way with 3 goals each. The lacrosse team has had its ups and downs so far this season, but with a number 10 ranking, they are still expecting big things. Let's check them out. DeMarco Murray is officially a Philadelphia Eagle. Murray signed a 5-year, $40 million contract with $21 million guaranteed. Murray was the NFL's leading rusher last season with over 1,800 yards. And with DeMarco, Sproles, and Ryan Matthews, the Eagles' backfield should make up for the loss of LaShawn McCoy. And that was this week's sports news. Let's send it back to Dominique at the news desk.
Hillary Clinton recently was accused of deleting over 32,000 private emails sent during her tenure as Secretary of State. According to Fox News, Clinton has claimed every email was read before deletion. At the time, regulations did not require that all government emails sent from .gov email addresses. Israel's election day is being held this week. With a divide between Palestinians and Israelis, the results are not able to be determined quite yet. Prime Minister Netanyahu is running against Isaac Herzog. According to NBC News, Herzog could be one to change the relationship and set a better tone in the U.S. with the connection in Israel. 2 police officers were shot in Ferguson this week during a peaceful protest in front of the police station. Jeffrey Williams, the alleged shooter, claimed that he was not aiming for the officers. Although still being investigated, Williams' prosecutors said, "We are not sure we are buying it." An eagle made an extraordinary flight over Dubai, and it was all caught on video. With a camera strapped to its back, the endangered bird showed the incredible visual of a predator's look on prey. Done to highlight the beauty of the species, the video has gone viral. And those were this week's big issues. Let's check in with Morgan Williams for your entertainment update.
Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m., Pastor Chuck Kiefer DJs here at Cabrini in the radio station. He talks about why he DJs so late and what he does with his full-time job. Here's what he had to say.
I started 8 years ago here, and I'm one of the community DJs. Up at night, We've only been doing it a year, and it's a mixture of both secular and Christian music. Positive. We actually look at the words of the song and determine that if it meets the criteria, if it's edifying and encouraging and builds you up, we try to edit out the junk. Coming through the industry, because I've been doing this off and on for 30 years, Cabrini has one of the best setups that you can learn in the real world. I mean, bar none. I mean, you have equipment here and software that CBS Radio uses. And so you're getting hands-on professional real-world training. And I mean, I've known a number of students who've actually had, internships in major radio stations, and it's the same software that they were using in class at work. And it's not my full-time gig. I am the senior pastor of the Foundry Church in Wallingford, Swarthmore area. I oversee a parish in that area. My youngest daughter went through a really difficult time about 2 years ago. In the midst of working through the healing that she was going through, we discovered that positive music at night really encouraged her. And she was really struggling with, she said, "Dad, look at this Christian song. It talks about suicide, it talks about addictions, but it doesn't give you any answers or hope." So here's my 17-year-old daughter helping me do playlists. We actually look at the words together, we pick out the words of the songs, whether it's Imagine Dragons, we're doing Love and the Outcome, Sarah Evans, Kelly Clarkson, but we're also doing some of the up-and-coming indie bands that are crossover. Great place. It's a great facility, whether you're doing, digital media or broadcast. It's really top end. Do mentor students a lot. It's about going to the blackboard. It's not necessarily having the right answer. You're only going to learn by your failures, and you're only going to learn by trying.
Justin Bieber is 21, ladies, and then in the celebrity world, that means it's time to get roasted. On Comedy Central, they held a roast of Mr. Bieber, and it was performed by the amazing Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris, Martha Stewart, and more, including Will Ferrell. The roast was followed by Justin Bieber's birthday party, which was held at Omnia nightclub. There were screaming women everywhere, and what other way do you expect Justin Bieber to party it up? Happy 21st, Mr. Bieber, and I wish you many more grand birthdays ahead, big boy. If you're keeping it up with the Kardashians, then you know about Scott Disick and his relationship with the oldest Kardashian sister, Kourtney. Scott Disick has been struggling with his drinking problem for years, and he went into rehab for less than a week the first time. Well, E-News says that he is on his way back into rehab, and he's working on building himself. He realizes that he has been repeating the same bad habits constantly, and he's tired of hearing himself make promises to change. Now he is focusing on himself and his family and doing what is best for them. Good luck, Scott. My best wishes to you. Hashtag boycott Dolce & Gabbana has been an eye-opener for Twitter and the whole world of fashion. Dolce & Gabbana are both homosexual men from Italy who do not believe in same-sex marriage or same-sex parenting. Dolce says the only family is a traditional one, no chemical offspring and rented uterus. Life is a natural flow. There are things that should not be changed. I call children of chemistry synthetic children. Twitter began responding in a few tweets and posts on Instagram. They came from Elton John, with a few others following along, expressing their opinion. How do you feel about this topic? Would you stop wearing this brand because of the beliefs that it was built on? Do you support gay rights? Tweet us and let us know what you think at LOQation News. I want to hear your opinion. Marianne Murtha is a student that is doing extraordinary things as a sophomore at Cabrini. Let's check out what she is doing.
Okay, so for the VITA program last year, I was in the income tax class, and I was e-file coordinator, so I was kind of learning how to do the job. And then she was the girl who did it before me was a senior, so she graduated, so now I'm the e-file coordinator and am in charge of e-filing the returns and helping the other income tax students. The students meet with the taxpayers and they do interviews, and then they fill out the return on TaxWise, which is our online software. And then they come to me with questions on how to fill out the returns, and then once it's all completed and they have all the information, then I review it and then send it in for e-filing. So the VITA program, it's volunteer income tax assistant, so it's all free because it's volunteer and all the students are volunteers. So we do tax returns from low to moderate income, which is up until $45,000. So the students are in that realm. So after I took Accounting 1, I was approached to do accounting tutoring. So I'm the accounting tutor for all the accounting up until Intermediate 2. And then I also do classroom coaching, so I sit in on the classes, so I know exactly how the students are doing in the class and help them out with their homework or with the tax returns.
She's been really beneficial to me. Before every test, I come into her and she helps me tutor the stuff we need to learn right before it. There's always new forms that we have to learn for our income tax test, so it's nice that she's there just to help us out and assist us before we take the test, so we're not as nervous as we would be if we didn't have her. We always get new forms before our tests, so whenever we have any questions, she'll help us out with it. A lot of times, being inexperienced with tax returns, it's better to have someone help you figure it out before you e-file it yourself. And that's why it's nice to have her around so you feel safe and you know what you're doing.
The program helped me a lot to get to the internship because my internship is it's during tax season, so I do tax returns. And once they saw that I was in the program and I've had experience, that helped a lot. So I plan to go for my CPA and my master's in accounting and then go into the accounting field and do taxes or just public accounting. And then I want to do event planning, and so I gain the experience of business, and I always have accounting to go back to.
Well, that was your entertainment update. Now let's head over to the news desk.
Do you think Justin Bieber is going to get in more trouble now that he's finally legal?
I mean, he already gets in a lot of trouble anyway.
Yeah, I know. What do you think, Howard?
I know nothing about Justin Bieber except for that he makes music, so I hope not.
Yeah, I don't really care for Justin Bieber, but I just don't want Selena Gomez around him. I think she's a good girl.
She is.
But that's all we have for you this week on Location News. Make sure you stay up to date with us on social media. Simply search Location News.
Now let's see what's coming up next week on Location News. Have a great week, Cabrini.
Next time on Location News.
We cover the Cabrini housing lottery.
Then we bring you coverage on the men's tennis team.
Followed by coverage on the growing diversity of Cabrini students.
Next time on Location News.